who loved spending time with his family. Every day, he would play games with them, roughhouse, and then on the occasion, go on a field trip. Though he was a small child, he did have a great desire to help. Several times when his mother was cleaning around the house, he would go rush to get the smaller cleaning supplies just to try and help. On one such occasion, he had 2 spray bottles in his hands and stood atop the table, ready for anything. With this mindset, he would go about cleaning the monstrous germs that plagued the house, with each spray taking down 99% of all germs. But as this boy grew, he was no longer this spray bottle gunslinger, but turned into a more isolated child. With the time he spent with his family, it was a much less engaged time. He had found video games. Though they weren't the big video games we know now, he eventually got wrapped up in the engaging storylines and soon grew dependent on them for entertainment. Nearing the beginning of his teen years, he found himself less and less attached to his family, and due to this, his drive to grow with his family was diminishing. And as most teens are not wanting to spend time with their families, neither was he. Several times there were opportunities that his family made to spend time together as family, but all he wanted to do was play a video game or watch TV. On one family outing, he did eventually have his childlike fun relit. He was playing imaginary games with his family, roughhousing, and spending time together. Though he did try to get his family into more of it, he soon returned to home and soon slipped back into the metaverse, finding pride in the small achievements he made there. Finally, when he was about 15 years old, there was a family he became friends with, and soon saw how much time they spent together, and he saw how happy they were. And when he saw that, he always wanted that for his future family. But how would he be able to do that with the family he had now? Soon he made a great friend and was able to talk to them about many things, such as his dreams. And with a renewed enthusiasm for his dreams, at school he had entered into a new program called NGA. Now that he has grown up and looked back on his life, he sees the mistakes that he has made and the habits he's picked up along the way. Now, obviously that boy is me. Who else would know more about him apart from his mom? But to put my origin story aside, I wanted to share what I wanted to offer to the world. And as I said, the younger me didn't want to spend much time with my family. And now that I'm older, more intelligent, but questionably wiser, I see what I've missed. But I see what other families have and what I wish to have. As my family has seen the problems arise in our family, we have tried to fight them, but in the end we have grown only a bit, which is where my offer enters. Even though my life has been poisoned by the media, I still see what the world could have in families. Now what is it that I see? What is it that I can bring to the world? I see authentic family conversations happening all around the world. What if children spent time talking with their parents and family, instead of on video games and social media? How would you feel if your child came to you at the end of each day with a new, interesting topic to talk about? I know I would love it if my child wanted to talk to me about what they found inspiring. I want to inspire these authentic conversations with your family so that each children can be comfortable talking with their parents, so that when things get hard, they know that they can talk with their parents. Now, why should they be comfortable? Because not far from elementary ages lies experiences that they want to talk with someone about, and who better to talk about it with than your parent? There is a diagram that me and Miss Michelle was able to make that showed the progression towards addiction and depression. Though I don't have the clicker up, I have made it. So first is a happy, healthy stage. Which is where everything is great. As a child, you don't have much to worry about, and as you go to school, come home, play games with your friends and family, you repeat that. Next is habit. As you grow and continue making new habits, some better than others, you will eventually start seeing differences in your life. What is wrong with your life usually comes out first. After that, there's addiction. You have a long way to go before the addiction stage, but I have been there, and it's no fun at all. With addiction, usually comes blaming and criticizing. That's where depression comes from a lot of times. There are many kinds of addiction, and not many lead to addiction at the very beginning, but eventually it does. After addiction comes the darkest part, suicide. And yes, it's real, but there are a large number of suicides in the past year, and this year alone, it has already become close to the thousands. In Wyoming, the least populated state, it has the highest suicide rate in the US, with now 32.3 suicides per 100,000 people and climbing. With a population of only 581,000, that means that over 140 people committed suicide in Wyoming so far this year. But that's insane, that there are so many people in this world who don't like someone that much that they end up killing them, and that person happens to be themselves. The fact that there are people who don't think that their lives are worth living, that they end up dying through their own hands. This is ruining the state of the world, and for the future. I know someone who has committed suicide, and knowing someone who has done that gets you to feel very distraught. You're always on guard for other people, and can forget about the most important person, yourself. To prevent this, I want to offer a way to stop it at the root. Children in the happy, healthy stage are normally drawn to their parents and want to connect meaningfully with them. Sometimes a child nor the parent knows how to connect meaningfully, but the connection and conversation is essential. This is where we want to share our ideas, share our feelings, and sometimes even how to fight, which follow the courses by making peace. But as I've experienced life, and I'm sure many of you can attest, talking with your parents when you're a teen is not always easy. Parents are often busy and sometimes only have the common "how is school" question. Making time to connect and talk about more important topics is hard, but you can talk about them for a few things, but when you get into more personal matters, the few things that I find that are more personal, I find hard to talk to my parents about. I want children to know that as they grow, they can talk to their parents about anything. Parents need to have the connection with their children to help mentor them through the hardships in life. We believe that clear thinking leads to good decisions. Good decisions leads to good habits. And good habits leads to character. And character leads to destiny. Talking with your parents is just one way to get to thinking clearly. It helps to talk things through with someone you trust. But how do I give this to the world? We need a way to inspire regular family conversations that are very different from just a common "how is school?" But this is where Just Talk comes in. Just Talk is a platform that provides ready-to-go conversations for children and parents. But why would a child care about enough to talk with their parents? Well, what is one word that every child knows? It's pizza. Okay, but not just pizza, it's also, other prizes, such as new games, new ways that they can show off to their friends. Have any of you ever read a book in school or at home to earn a free pizza? This concept is the same. The platform will give children prizes for having conversations with their parents. There will be 2 phases that they will go through, then a few phases that the parents may also go through. Phase number 1 is talk topics, engaging in interesting topics plus questions to help the children connect with their parents through conversation. Though once they have carried out each of the conversations, they will turn in their signed form to receive a prize. This is the first phase because it will be the easiest to roll out and get going. Phase number 2 is the video topics, engaging videos that offer topics and questions to talk through with their parents and their family members. After completion, they will also get another prize. Parents will also have the opportunity to go through phase number 2 with their family, and they will be given their own program to go through, should they desire, of course. Their program will include books, explanatory videos on how to engage with the children more, and the why of why we're doing this. We will send packets through the mail to the family when they sign up, where they can keep track of their discussions with provided stickers. Once they're done, they can turn in a photo of the paper with a parent's signature to earn a big family prize. With Just Talk, I give children a way to talk with their parents about hard topics. This will help them as they grow into their teen life and start facing the trials and emotions that come with growing up. Since this is a big dream, I'll need plenty of help. What I need getting are down to the root very simple. An introduction to an advertising specialist that can help me increase meaningful family conversations by millions around the globe. Second is getting a meeting with Papa John's to bring smiles to faces and make quality families throughout the world. For this, I'll need help getting in contact with them through your connections to make this a reality. Number 3, a lawyer that will assist the paperwork and formation of registering Just Talk as a nonprofit entity. Number 4, recommendations to colleges. I aim to go to BYU Provo in the fall of 2026 and take the courses that apply to these dreams. One such course is the Drugs, Reward, and Addiction course. But in order to get into the class, I will need to complete a general psychology course in Lone Star College. Now, number 5, and finally, the funds. As you've heard, several people have asked for funds, and I am asking for $100,000 to provide the necessary funds that are needed to pay for animators, advertising specialists and running the ads, traveling expenses, a lawyer, and paying for the nonprofit entity, plus college. The rest will eventually go into Just Talk to help it run smoothly and precisely. With you and the NGA program, we can inspire authentic family conversations so that children are comfortable talking with their parents. In return, I promise to take the psychology crash course and finish it by November 17th this year, so that I can have the first draft of the first 10 conversation topics and questions ready by December 15th. The scripts for the videos will also be ready by January 20th of 2024, and I will be able to find a Fiverr animator to make them by February 1st of 2024. I will have my pitch deck ready for the whole business by May 31st of next year. And finally, my promise to you is to put my all into this dream, to give authentic family conversations to each family in the world, so each spray gun slinging child will know that they can talk with their parents about anything. Then when things get hard, they can overcome their problems by talking with their parents. Thank you.